Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this workshop, we will explain how to fill the annual program report, which is form number T6 from the National Center of Academic Accreditation and Evaluation 2020. This is the program name, Electrical Engineering, the qualification level, Bachelor in Electrical Engineering, the department, Electrical Engineering, College, Engineering, Institution, Majma University, academic year 2020-2021, main location, Engineering Building. Okay, now we have the table of contents, implementation of previous action plan, program statistics, program learning outcomes assessment, summary of course report, program activities, program evaluation, difficulties and challenges faced, program management, program improvement plan, report approving authority, and finally attachments. For the first section, implementation of previous action plan, we have to look at the annual program report 2019-2020 and to see if the planned actions are implemented or not. If they are implemented, you have to fill the level of completion, not incompleted, which means you have to write the reason and proposed actions. If it is completed, there is no need to write reasons or proposed actions. For the next section, you have to provide about the program statistics, student statistics in the year concerned. The year concerned, which means the year that we are writing about our annual program report, which is 2020-2021. The number of students who started the program in the year 2020-2021. For example, this is an example, of course, not real data or numbers. For example, 50 students. The number of students who graduated in this year. For example, we have 15 students graduated. If I have tracks, I have to distribute the 15 students over tracks. For example, if I have power track, for example, 10 students from power track. If I have communications track, which means I have 5 students, they completed or graduated from this track, so the sum is 15, as the same as here. Now let's talk about the number of students who completed the program in the minimal time, which means if your study plan 5 years, they have to finish the curriculum within 5 years. So this is the minimal time that the students should be completed the program. So if I, for example, if I have 10 students that they are completed the program in minimal time, so I have to calculate the percentage of students who completed the program in the minimal time, which we call the completion rate. The completion rate means that you have to divide the number of students that they are finished the program with the minimal rate. And if you have number of students who completed an intermediate award specified as an early exit point, we don't have it in our programs, so it is not applicable. And also for number 7, percentage of students who completed an intermediate award specified as an early exit point, also not applicable. For the completion rate, you have to divide the number of, because the 10 students finished, over the total number that they started the program with 50, and we have the completion rate about 20%. 20% of students, they finished the program with the minimal time. So percentage of students who completed the program in the minimal time, completion rate means the number of students who completed the program in minimal time divided by the number of students who started the program. Okay, if you have any comments or any special or unusual factors that might have affected the completion rates, you can write them. For example, high percentage of withdrawn, for example, high number of failed students in the first 3 years. These unusual factors can affect the completion rate, and maybe other factors, maybe students they transfer to another programs and so on. So you have to write. If there is no special or unusual factors and it is normal, you can keep it empty or write no comments. If there is no, you can write no comment or no special or unusual factors. So no comment. Okay, now let's go down. The cohort analysis of current graduate batch, which means students in 2021 in this year, the students that should be graduated in this current year. As you know, we have only male. I want to begin from here. You see, this is the red square, and I have this one, the red square. So I have to follow my students 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, and current year, and to see the number of students that are graduated at this. For example, if the number of students that the total cohort enrollment 3 years ago, you see 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and 4 years program. For us, it is a 4-year program without considering the preparatory year, which means the students that entered my program, for example, electrical engineering or civil engineering or mechanical engineering. For electrical engineering example, if 3 years ago the total students that enrolled to my program was 50, in this year, for example, 5 students withdrawn, the retained till year end, for example, 45. The students that finished this year, 40, and 5 of them they didn't finish this year. So the percentage or passing rate for this year will be 40 over 45. Okay, now in the second year, the past students 40, I will begin with 40 students. 40 students in the next year from the same cohort. I have 40, they passed the first year. So from the 40 withdrawn, for example, 3, I will have 37. From 37, 7 students failed, still 30 passed, which means in the second year the passing rate is 30 over 37. Now in the third year, I have 30 students that they passed the second year, withdrawn, for example, 0, the retained 30, not passed, for example, 5, they passed 25, which means 25 over 30 students. This is the passing rate. And the current year now, the past students, the number of past students in the third year 25. I will write here 25. Withdrawn, for example, 5 students. I have 20 retained till year end. From them 5 students failed, which means I have 15 students that they passed, which means the passing rate 15 over 20. Now, if you see if I am analyzing the this cohort for the current graduate batch, I see that from 50 students that they entered my program 4 years ago, 50. Now, from 50 students, I have now 15 students, which means 15 students out of 50 they graduated, because these 15 students within the minimal time, which means 35 students. From 50 I have 5, 3, 8 and 5, 13 students they withdrawn, 13 students, which means 13 out of 50 they withdrawn from the program with about 26%. And also I have 22 students they didn't pass and failed in some years. So the graduate students 15 students. This is for 4-year program. If you have 5-year program you want to consider preparatory year, you have to add 4 years ago and to complete this section. As you see, it is not about every year, it is about to follow your batch that should be graduated now. This 15 with minimal you have to consider here. So this should be not 10, should be 15 students that they are finished. 50 now is the students who started the program. This is about completion rate, and this is the number of students that finished the program with the minimal time. Now let's go and write the analysis of program statistics. The analysis of program statistics related to this section and this section. You have to write comments regarding the completion rate, the number of students that enrolled, the number of graduate students, and so on. And about this section you can write the strength. For example, what we can say, for example, the number of enrolled students is acceptable and within the planned, for example, within the planned tasks. Area of improvements, for example, minimizing the withdrawn number of students. We have 17 over 50. Also priorities of improvement, for example, to activate, for example, the control track, and so on. So this is about you write what you want regarding the strength, areas for improvement, and priorities for improvements. So the priorities for improvement should be included. What you are writing for priorities or for improvement, should be included in your action plan, should be included in your improvement and action or improvement plan. Now, the next section is about program learning outcomes assessment. As you see in this form, we are talking about knowledge and understanding, skills and values. So I know that we are filled using the 2017 2018 form, which is about knowledge, skills and competence, but I think it is now I have another lecture about that form, and this is about the newest and the last form from NCAA. So you have to fill here your learning outcomes that are approved in the program specifications. So they have to be from program specifications, all of them. These three things, as you see in red color, they should be from program specifications. The result should be written here. Of course, the assessment methods used are also approved in program specification. The result should be here. For example, this is K1 program learning outcome. The target is 70 and the result is 65. For skills, for example, S1, program learning outcome, the benchmark 75, the result is 80, and so on. Based on the results and the performance target, you have to write your comments here about every program learning outcome that is below the performance target. For example, if you want to comment K1 PLO is below the bench mark or below what we call the performance target, it is better to use the same terminology, performance target, and you can write your comment. This, for example, this is due to use, for example, the online teaching strategies. For example, you have if you have any other comments, you write them here. If you don't have and your results are all above the performance targets, you can write nothing. The analysis of program learning outcomes about these results, you have to write here. The strength, for example, all PLOs are measured using direct and indirect assessment methods. Okay, for example, area of improvement, for example, activation of the indirect method for all courses. For example, priorities of improvement, for example, updating the assessment methods or teaching strategies for program learning outcomes related to values domain. So you have to write here your priorities of improvement. Now in this section you have to fill the summary of course reports. You can take them directly from course reports. From course reports. The course, for example, EE 360, what topics are not covered. For example, unit 4, or you can write the name, for example, programming using, for example, Arduino, for example. The reason, for example, shorting the semester. Compensating, you can write anything. Maybe this course or this unit will be taught in the next semester in other courses, or maybe you can no action needed. So you have, this is to fill for all courses that not covered. If covered, do not list them in this section. Courses with variations, this means list courses with marked variation in results that are stated in course reports. See again, including completion rate, grade distribution, student results, and so on. This should be taken directly from the course report. For example, EE 360, they are required to write the course name and code. So I can write micro processors, EE variation. For example, the variation is regarding the grades, the completion rate. For example, the completion rate is high. For example, 100%, or low. For example, 30%. So what is the reason of variation? You can write here 100%, for example, low number of students. For example, if it is 30, you can write the reason. The action taken, for example, is to improve, for example, the exams quality, or teaching strategies, and write your action here, and the same for all courses in this section. After that, you have to write results analysis for course reports for all of them from here, the course variations and the teaching of planned courses and the courses with variations, and writing here the strength, for example, all passing rates are within the normal ranges, for example. Area of improvements, for example, to enhance the quality of assessment methods using online teaching. This is priorities for improvement is, for example, regarding the course reports, instructors should complete the for example, covered topics and sent to the department for this discussion, and so on. So this is maybe priorities for improvement. Program activities, all activities implemented regarding the student counseling and support. This is the name of activity, for example, orientation day, orientation day, brief description, for example, the electrical engineering department organized an orientation day for the new students, and so on. This is regarding the counseling and comments here related all activities. Professional development for faculty and staff, activities implemented, for example, workshop, how to fill the annual program report, and the description here, the College of Engineering organized a workshop by Dr. Abdulrahman Qawasmi, how to fill the annual program report, and you can write comments here. Also regarding research, for example, activities implemented regarding research, for example, a meeting discussing the research priorities, and this is the description here, and comments here. Also community partnership, if you have any community partnership or community service, for example, providing lectures for high school about the electricity, about safety, for example. So you write description here and write your comments on community partnership. Maybe you have a partnership regarding for example, partnership with STC to train our students, for example, and you write here your description. And this is, of course, the comments analysis of program activities. This is about all activities above, all activity strength, for example, counseling is active for areas of improvement, needs more attention related to research, for example, priorities for improvement, increasing the community service activities. Okay, now go down, program evaluation. This is important. Evaluation of courses. All courses are evaluated by students. You can take the results from course reports, and these course reports, you have the course code, for example E360, course title microprocessors, students evaluation, yes, other evaluation, NCAAA, development recommendation, yes or not, for example, updating CLOs. students evaluation of program quality. This is a survey, should be taken from the quality committee. Evaluation date, for example April 2021. Number of participants, for example 35. The strength, you can write the strength within students are satisfied with, for example, with learning resources. No response, no program response. Areas of improvement, for example, the students' satisfaction about counseling is low. So in this case, the program should give more attention to the low performance students. This is from students, and this is the response. The response from the program. The program will organize a meeting with the students' representative in the students' council, and so on, to discuss this issue. For example, suggestions of improvement this is from students. We need more extra curricular activities. Okay, this is from students. The program response, for example, two activities are added to the program plan for the next year. So you need to write this is activities and so on. Other evaluation, for example, you have independent reviewer, program advisory committee, stakeholders. Usually every year you have advisory committee, so you'd have feedback from advisory committee. Stakeholders, of course, from alumni, employers, students, and faculty members. See, independent reviewer also we have in this year from NCAAA. We have from quality deanship. We have from alumni, employers, and faculty. Also we have from advisory committee. So you have to fill this table, repeat this table for every one, for NCAAA, for quality, and for every table you have to write the strength, the point for improvements, and such as this is. So for example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to repeat 6 times, and to write the strength, points for improvements, and suggestions for improvement. This is about the improvements. Now the key performance indicators should be measured, and we have already 17 adopted from NCAA. The target benchmark here is what is planned in your improvement plan or operational plan. The actual value that you measured now, internal benchmark any other program inside the university, and analysis based on the result and the new target benchmark. Let's take one, for example, for KPI is, for example, satisfaction of stakeholders about learning resources. It's better here to write the number of KPI as from NCAA or as numbered inside the college or the department. The target, for example, 80 or for example 75. The actual value we measured, it was 78. The internal benchmark, for example, from another program in the university for electrical engineering, maybe we have from the applied medical college. The program is about biomedical instrumentation or equipment. The benchmark is 80. We have to reach the analysis. Our actual value is above the target, which is good. The new target, for example, it is 80. The new target should be logic and based on the actual, and also based on what you want to reach the internal benchmark. And it should be logically. If, for example, if the actual value it was 75 or 74, I can make the new target still 75, but in our 5-year strategic plan we're trying, for example, to reach some value that should be considered by every year. We have to comment here all the results based on the KPIs measurement and benchmark results. Now the analysis of program evaluation. This is about all 4 and this 1, 3, 2 from this program evaluation based on courses, based on students evaluation, other evaluation, and KPIs. For all of them we have to write the strength, area of improvement, and priorities based on results. After that we have to write difficulties and challenges faced the program management. Anything maybe related to online teaching, maybe something related to the classrooms, or anything that make it difficult to teach or to evaluate. You have to write here, and what is the effect, the implications on the program. For example, is there an implication? If there is nothing, you have to leave it empty or write none, and there is no action. If there is something, difficulties and challenges faced during the academic year 2021, you can write them here or make it or leave it empty. The program improvement plan. This is the improvement plan based what is written before. You have to look back and again to look to your priorities of improvement. You have here 1. You go down. You have here 1. You go back down for courses. You have here 1. About students counseling and support, professional development, research and community service, you have here 1. Priorities for improvement. Also for program evaluation you have what we call here priorities of improvement here, and based on all of them you're writing your improvement plan for each. This is priorities for improvement. This is priorities for improvement, priorities for improvement, and so on. So for example, if you have increasing the community service activity, you make a copy and put it on your improvement plan down. This is the increasing. What is the action? You have to write the action and who is responsible about this action. Increasing community service, the action, for example, is you can write any action here. You will see that it will increase the community service. For example, include extra activities as part of community service. Who's responsible? Maybe you have a committee under graduate committee plus, for example, the community service committee. The starting date, you can write a date or weeks, for example, the first week, and end the week number 3. Of course, the year is the next year. Achievement indicators, for example, number of community services. The target, I need 5 activities minimum. So this is about program improvement plan, and of course after finishing you have to approve by department council. Right here the department council, for example number 20, date is for example 15 June 2021. This should be attached. A separate cohort analysis report for male and female, we don't have it. A report on the program learning outcomes assessment results for male and female, we don't have it. A report of the students' evaluation of program quality, this is, we can have it, should be included. And independent reviewers report or other surveys report, we have it. So these 2 things should be attached. Thank you very much for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you have any questions, yes please, I will be happy to answer